This phase feels intoxicating for the victim, as the narcissist paints a picture of a perfect relationship. Then there's love bombing, which is an intense form of idealization where the narcissist overwhelms the partner with gestures of love, gifts, and constant communication. The partner feels deeply validated and cherished. This stage creates an emotional high that makes the victim feel as if they've found their perfect match. Then there is the creating of dependency. That's the next stage. The narcissist will subtly begin to create emotional dependency in the relationship. They will manipulate their partner into relying on them for emotional support, for decisions and validation. This step often involves isolating the partner from friends and family, making them more reliant on the narcissist for approval and happiness. Then the next stage is devaluation begins. After the initial phase of idealization, the narcissist begins to devalue their partner. This can happen suddenly. It can also happen gradually. The narcissistic partner, the partner to a narcissist, may be criticized for small flaws. The self-esteem will begin to suffer, and they will feel confused about the shifting dynamics. The narcissist may become indifferent, or the narcissist may show disdain, making the partner feel unworthy. Then the next stage is gaslighting. Gaslighting is a common tactic used by narcissists to make their partner doubt their own reality. The narcissist may deny things they've said or done. They may distort facts, or they may twist events to make the partner feel crazy or overly sensitive. This results in the partner questioning their memory and perception. The other stage is emotional manipulation. At this stage, the narcissist manipulates the partner's emotions for personal gain. They may play on the partner's insecurities or guilt trip them into compliance. This manipulation might come in the form of sudden outbursts, silent treatment, or dramatic mood swings. Then the next stage is exploitation. The narcissist begins to exploit the partner for their own benefit. This could involve financial exploitation, using the partner's resources without giving anything back, or demanding that the partner give up their personal aspirations to serve the narcissist's goals. The victim feels as if their needs don't matter. Then the next stage is isolation. The narcissist isolates their partner from family, friends, and support networks. They may belittle or criticize people the partner is close to, sowing seeds of doubt. This isolation makes the partner feel more alone and dependent on the narcissist for emotional support, further cementing control. Then the next stage is love withdrawal. To maintain control, the narcissist may withdraw affection or love. This sudden emotional distance causes confusion in the partner, who might feel as if they have done something wrong. The narcissist will use this tactic to get the partner to beg for attention or affection, reinforcing the narcissist's sense of power. Then the next stage is inconsistent behavior. The narcissist's behavior becomes inconsistent, swinging between moments of charm and emotional cruelty. This unpredictability keeps the partner on edge, always trying to earn back the affection and validation that was once freely given. The emotional roller coaster can make the partner feel anxious and uncertain. Then the next stage is blame shifting. The narcissist will refuse to take responsibility for their own actions, and they will shift the blame onto the partner. If something goes wrong, the narcissist will point fingers, making the partner feel at fault for issues in the relationship. This constant blaming further undermines the partner's sense of self-worth. The other stage is projection. This is when the narcissist accuses their partner of behaviors or feelings that they themselves exhibit. For example, they may accuse the partner of being selfish or manipulative when they're the ones engaging in these behaviors. This confusion is designed to make the partner question their own actions and morality. Then the next stage is hoovering. Hoovering is a tactic used by narcissists to pull their partners back into the relationship after a conflict or breakup. This may involve false promises, apologies, or grand gestures designed to win back the partner's trust. The partner is left torn between wanting to believe the narcissist's change and their deep doubts about the relationship. Then the other stage is the silent treatment. When the narcissist feels slighted or when they need to regain control, they may resort to the silent treatment. They completely ignore their partner, creating feelings of loneliness and desperation. What once felt deeply painful becomes something the partner tolerates in an effort to maintain peace or avoid further conflict. This desensitization makes it harder for the partner to see the reality of the abuse. Then the next stage is the breaking point. The partner reaches a breaking point after enduring long periods of emotional manipulation, confusion, and distress. This may come after a particularly devastating episode of rage or manipulation. At this point, the partner may begin to realize the need to leave the relationship for their mental and emotional well-being. And finally is the breakup or final discard. That's the last stage. In some cases, the narcissist may discard their partner without warning, moving on to a new source of admiration. In other cases, the partner may find the courage to break free. Regardless, the end of the relationship is often messy and filled with drama, guilt, and emotional fallout. The narcissist may use the final phase to try to regain control or manipulate the partner into coming back. Navigating a relationship with a narcissist is emotionally exhausting and damaging. So, understanding these stages can be very important for recognizing when to set boundaries, to seek support, and ultimately to walk away for the sake of one's mental health and well-being. Dealing with a narcissist who ignores you or shows that they don't like you can be challenging, especially since narcissists often seek control and validation from others. So, I'm going to give you strategies to consider in order to respond effectively to such behavior, in order to protect your emotional well-being and to maintain a healthy sense of self. Now, number one, don't take it personally. Narcissists are often driven by their own needs for admiration and validation. When they ignore you or express dislike, it is more about them than it is about you. Their behavior reflects their insecurities or need to feel superior. Understanding this can help you avoid internalizing their actions. Number two, maintain your boundaries. Narcissists may try to manipulate you into seeking their approval, but maintaining clear boundaries is essential. Don't engage in behavior that compromises your values or self-worth to win their approval. Stand firm in your boundaries, even if it means they ignore you. Now, the other thing to do is don't chase after validation. One of the primary tactics narcissists use is to withhold affection or attention as a form of control. If a narcissist ignores you or acts indifferent, avoid the temptation to chase after them for validation. This only fuels their sense of power over you. The other strategy to have in mind when dealing with a narcissist who ignores you, who is indifferent towards you, is to keep your emotional distance. A narcissist may attempt to provoke an emotional reaction from you to maintain their power dynamic. So practice emotional detachment when they ignore you. Responding with calmness and composure denies them the satisfaction of seeing you react emotionally. Again, don't engage in their games. Narcissists often engage in manipulation, playing mind games to see how much control they can exert over others. If they ignore you or if they show disdain, don't engage in their drama. Staying out of these dynamics will help you retain your peace of mind. The other thing to do towards a narcissist who ignores you, who is indifferent towards you, who doesn't like you, is to focus on your own needs. Instead of trying to win over a narcissist, Focus on your own self-care and needs. Invest your energy into your personal growth and relationships that are supportive and fulfilling. Their disregard for you is not a reflection of which is rare. Trying to change or please a narcissist often leads to frustration. Accepting them as they are without compromising your self-worth can help you detach emotionally from their behavior. The other thing about narcissists, you need to recognize gaslighting techniques. Narcissists may use gaslighting to make you doubt your reality or perceptions, especially if they ignore you or treat you poorly. If they try to make you feel like you are wrong for feeling hurt, don't question your emotions. Trust yourself and what you know to be true. The other thing to do when a narcissist is indifferent towards you, if they ignore you, if they don't like you, keep your expectations low. Expectations of a narcissist can often lead to disappointment because they are incapable of healthy empathy or reciprocal emotional engagement. By lowering your expectations of their behavior, you protect yourself from unnecessary hurt. Then also avoid pleasing them at your expense. Narcissists often expect others to prioritize their needs over their own. When they ignore or dislike you, don't resort to self-sacrifice in hopes of regaining their attention. This can lead to an unhealthy dynamic where you constantly diminish your own needs for their benefit. The other thing is, do not mirror their behavior. A common tactic when faced with a narcissist's disinterest or coldness is to mirror their behavior in retaliation. However, this rarely works to your advantage and can escalate conflicts. Instead, maintain your integrity by being respectful, even when they fail to reciprocate. The other thing is to seek support from healthy relationships. Being ignored by a narcissist can be isolating, so it's vital to lean on healthy, supportive relationships in your life. These relationships offer a space for emotional nourishment and validation, allowing you to recharge and maintain perspective. Now, when you're dealing with a narcissist who is ignoring you, who is indifferent towards you, who doesn't like you, you need to know when to walk away. Sometimes the best response to a narcissist's behavior is to walk away. If you find that their disregard for you is having a negative impact on your mental or emotional health, consider distancing yourself. Detach from their influence. It is the healthiest choice. The other thing you can do is don't let their opinions define you. Narcissists may try to undermine your self-esteem by showing that they don't like you or ignoring you. Remember that their opinions are based on their own narcissistic lens, not on your true worth. So stay grounded in your value and avoid letting their dismissive behavior erode your self-confidence. And finally, if you're dealing with a narcissist who doesn't like you, who ignores you, who is indifferent towards you, consider getting professional help. If you're finding it very difficult to manage your emotions or to understand how to cope with a narcissist in your life, seeking guidance from a therapist can be helpful. Therapy can offer you tools to strengthen your emotional resilience. The narcissistic cycle in relationships: idealization, devaluation, discard, and the hoover. Now, narcissistic abuse is a complex pattern that often cycles through 4 distinct phases: idealization, devaluation, discard, and hoovering. These phases are typical in relationships where one partner exhibits narcissistic traits, which can lead to emotional, psychological, and even physical harm. The narcissist's need for control, admiration, and validation drives this cycle, creating a toxic environment for their partner. The first phase in the narcissistic cycle is idealization. During this stage, the narcissist initially comes on strong, showering their partner with love, affection, and attention. This behavior often feels too good to be true. The narcissist may claim that they have found the one, and they can be excessively charming, flattering, and attentive. For the person being idealized, this can feel intoxicating, creating an intense bond that can cloud their judgment. The idealization phase is marked by the narcissist's attempt to create a sense of dependency in the other person. They frequently use phrases like, "You are perfect for me," or "I've never felt this way before." Their goal is to make their partner feel deeply validated and special, a tactic that builds trust and emotional attachment. During this period, the partner is often made to feel as though they are the narcissist's savior, someone who can provide the emotional support they crave. However, idealization is not about genuine love or affection. It's about control. The narcissist is trying to manipulate the relationship dynamic by ensuring that their partner feels needed and important. In reality, the narcissist is building a foundation based on their own inflated self-image and a desire for constant admiration, often at the expense of the partner's emotional well-being. As the relationship progresses, the narcissist will inevitably shift into the devaluation phase. This phase marks a sharp contrast to the idealization period. The partner who was once adored and put on a pedestal is now criticized, belittled, and ignored. Small flaws are magnified, and every action or word is scrutinized for imperfections. The narcissist may become cold, distant, or even hostile, undermining the partner's self-esteem. The devaluation phase is characterized by manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional cruelty. The narcissist may make the partner feel as though they are not enough or are constantly failing to meet their expectations. This can lead to intense confusion and self-doubt for the partner, who is often left wondering what went wrong after the initial stage of intense love and affection. Devaluation often involves a subtle but pervasive erosion of the partner's confidence. The narcissist will belittle their partner's achievement, mock their appearance, or criticize their personality. These tactics are meant to destabilize the partner's sense of self-worth and create a sense of dependence, making them more susceptible to the narcissist's control. The narcissist's behavior during devaluation may also include triangulation, where they introduce third parties to provoke jealousy or insecurity in the partner. This could involve flirting with others in front of the partner or discussing other people's praise or attention. The narcissist's goal is to undermine their partner's self-esteem, making them more emotionally vulnerable and easier to control. Then the next phase is the discard phase. It is the most painful and abrupt stage in the narcissistic cycle. Once the narcissist has fully devalued their partner and no longer finds them useful for fulfilling their emotional needs, they abruptly end the relationship. This phase can feel like a complete betrayal to the partner, who is left in shock and devastation after being discarded with little to no explanation. Then there's the discard phase can come without warning or closure, leaving the partner feeling emotionally drained and abandoned. The narcissist may suddenly become distant, stop responding to messages, or create a dramatic argument that leads to a swift breakup. This sudden shift leaves the partner confused and heartbroken, wondering how everything turned so sour after the initial idealization phase. During discard, the narcissist will often show no empathy or concern for the emotional pain they are causing. The discarded partner may try to salvage the relationship, apologizing for things they did not do, or attempting to win back the narcissist's approval. This is because the narcissist has effectively conditioned their partner to seek validation and approval. After the discard, many people experience a sense of emptiness and confusion. They are left to deal with the emotional aftermath. All right? They have to deal with that emotional aftermath of that manipulation, questioning their worth and how they could have been so deceived. In some cases, the narcissist may even make the partner feel as though they were the cause of the breakup, turning the situation into a twisted form of victim blaming. Then the next phase is the hoovering phase, which occurs when the narcissist tries to draw the discarded partner back into the relationship. The term hoovering refers to the narcissist's attempts to suck the partner back in, using various manipulative tactics to regain control. They may reach out with promises of change, apologies, or declarations of love, hoping to reignite the emotional attachment. Hoovering is often very manipulative and insidious, with the narcissist offering just enough to create hope in people, or to create hope in their partner. They may express remorse for their actions, promising that they will be different this time or that things will improve. This can be highly confusing because the partner might feel torn between hope for the relationship and the reality of past mistreatment. Then the narcissist may also use hoovering to feed their own ego, ensuring that they have not lost their source of validation and admiration. This is not an act of genuine love or remorse, but rather a strategic attempt to regain control and maintain the narcissist's inflated sense of self-worth. The partner who has been hoovered may experience a range of emotions, from relief to guilt to anger. They may feel conflicted about re-entering the cycle, especially after the pain of the discard. That pain of the discard phase is still fresh. However, the narcissist's charm and persuasive tactics often make it difficult to resist, drawing the partner back into the toxic relationship dynamic. It is important to note that hoovering does not signify genuine change. Narcissists rarely engage in self-reflection or meaningful growth. If the partner allows themselves to be hoovered back into the relationship, they are likely to experience the same cycles of idealization, devaluation, and discard all over again. The cycle of idealization, devaluation, discard, and hoovering can be emotionally exhausting and deeply damaging for the partner. Each phase creates a sense of instability and confusion, making it difficult for the partner to trust their own feelings or intuition. The idea that they should have to wait or process their emotions like others is foreign to them. Instead, they seek a new partner to fulfill their desires immediately, feeling entitled to move on without delay. This entitlement drives them to marry quickly or jump into a new relationship to ensure their emotional and psychological needs are met without pause. Narcissists often use triangulation as a tool to manipulate others and reinforce their position of superiority. By moving on to a new partner so quickly, they create a sense of competition or jealousy in their former partner. The narcissist may intentionally flaunt their new relationship to elicit a reaction, either to make the ex feel inadequate or to make them jealous. This tactic is a form of emotional manipulation that helps the narcissist maintain control. Narcissists are deeply invested in maintaining an image of perfection and success. The end of a relationship can be seen as a threat to this image, as it may suggest failure or inadequacy. Quickly entering into a new relationship or marriage allows them to present themselves as desirable and in demand, reinforcing the illusion of perfection. This new partner is often idealized in the early stages, providing the narcissist with a fresh canvas to project their ideal self. The narcissistic supply, which is external validation and admiration, is something that the narcissist constantly needs to feel good about themselves. Once the narcissist discards a partner, they are no longer receiving the necessary attention and admiration from them. The void created by this lack of supply pushes the narcissist to find someone new who can provide the constant ego boost they crave. A quick marriage or relationship helps to ensure that the narcissistic supply continues uninterrupted. Narcissists are often impulsive and act without considering the consequences. When they discard a partner, they are not necessarily looking for deep emotional connections with someone new. Instead, they want immediate gratification and attention. Their tendency to rush into new relationships or marriages is driven by this impulsivity, which allows them to avoid the discomfort of being without a constant source of admiration. Narcissists often view relationships as transactions where they look for the best possible supply. If they leave a partner, it's often because they believe someone else will provide them with a better supply. This new partner may be someone who appears more attractive, successful, or better suited to feed the narcissist's ego. In this sense, the new relationship is often viewed as an upgrade, and the narcissist's rush to marry is part of their need to demonstrate their superior choices. For narcissists, marriage or a public commitment is a powerful way to signal their success and social standing. They view commitment as a way to gain admiration from others, reinforcing their need for validation. The act of marrying someone quickly after a breakup allows them to show the world that they are still winning and that they are in demand, even if the marriage itself is based on superficial attraction or convenience. Sometimes a narcissist's decision to marry quickly after discarding a partner is fueled by a desire for revenge. If they feel hurt or insulted by the breakup, they may use a new relationship to prove that they are better off without their ex. The new partner may be used as a pawn in this revenge tactic, demonstrating to the ex that they are easily replaceable and no longer significant in the narcissist's life. Narcissists often lack the emotional capacity to handle the pain of a breakup. Rather than deal with their feelings, they quickly escape into a new relationship to avoid facing their own vulnerabilities. This is a way to distract themselves from the emotional aftermath of the end of a relationship. By rushing into a new commitment, they prevent themselves from feeling the full weight of their actions and emotions. Even though a narcissist may marry or enter into a new relationship quickly, this does not mean the issues within them are resolved. The new relationship may provide temporary ego boosts and serve as a distraction, but it doesn't address the deeper underlying problems of narcissism. Over time, the new supply may also be devalued and discarded, continuing the cycle of idealization and devaluation that defines the narcissist's pattern of relationship. When a narcissist loses their best partner, their grade supply or their narcissistic supply, it is akin to losing a fundamental part of their self-worth. Narcissists rely on others to validate their inflated sense of self, constantly seeking admiration, attention, and praise. A grade supply is typically someone who fulfills all these needs, offering not only admiration to the narcissist but also loyalty, support, and devotion. This grade supply is often seen as an essential source of narcissistic sustenance, one who reinforces the narcissist's grandiose self-image. When the narcissist loses this person, it can trigger a profound crisis. The loss of a grade A supply partner creates a vacuum in the narcissist's emotional life. They may experience feelings of anger, confusion, or even desperation. Narcissists do not handle rejection well because it threatens the fragile sense of superiority they have constructed around themselves. To them, the best partner is someone who believes in their inflated sense of self and continually offers praise, validation, and admiration. Without this, their confidence quickly crumbles and they may feel exposed or vulnerable. Initially, the narcissist may react by attempting to salvage the relationship. This could involve manipulation, guilt-tripping, or love bombing. They may bombard the former partner with flattering messages, gestures, or promises of change. The narcissist's goal is to re-establish their supply, to reclaim the person who once fed their ego. If this approach fails, they may shift to anger or disdain, often seeking to devalue or humiliate the person who has left them. This serves two purposes: to diminish the importance of the partner in their mind and to protect their fragile self-esteem from the sting of rejection. In some cases, the narcissist may try to quickly replace their grade A supply with someone new, hoping to fill the void left behind. This new partner may be another person who initially provides the narcissist with validation and admiration, but it is unlikely to offer the same depth of connection. The new partner will eventually realize that they're just another source of narcissistic supply, but by then the narcissist will likely have moved on, seeking someone else to feed their insatiable need for adoration. The narcissist may also exhibit behaviors that reveal their struggle with the loss of their best partner. They might escalate their efforts to appear successful or powerful, often boasting about their accomplishments, relationships, or status in an attempt to attract attention and validation from others. This is an effort to compensate for the sense of emptiness they feel inside. They may even go so far as to use social media as a platform for this self-promotion, posting pictures or status that highlight their perceived success and importance. Another key feature of the narcissist's reaction to losing their best partner is a deep sense of entitlement. They may feel that the relationship was theirs by right and that they are entitled to the admiration and loyalty that they were receiving. The loss of such a partner may be perceived as a grave injustice, fueling feelings of resentment and bitterness. In this state, they may engage in smear campaigns, attempting to tarnish the reputation of the partner who left them in order to maintain control over the narrative and regain their sense of dominance. One of the most difficult aspects of dealing with a narcissist after the loss of grade A supply is the narcissist's tendency to cycle between idealization and devaluation. After the loss, they may romanticize the former partner, remembering only the moments of admiration and adoration that were given to them. In their mind, this partner was the ideal person, and they may fantasize about winning them back or convincing them that they can change. But this idealization often quickly turns to devaluation once the narcissist feels rejected again or perceives a new person as a threat. When the narcissist devalues their former partner, they might start spreading lies or twisting the narrative in an attempt to salvage their own sense of superiority. They will often use the partner's imperfections or mistakes against them, exaggerating flaws to justify why the relationship ended. This process helps them reassert control over their self-image and avoid confronting their own deep-seated insecurities. By shifting the blame for the breakup, the narcissist avoids taking any responsibility for the dissolution of the relationship. The longer the narcissist goes without their grade A supply, the more desperate they may become. They might re-enter the dating scene in an attempt to find someone new who can provide them with the same level of validation. However, it's very important to note that narcissists rarely engage in healthy relationships. Their relationships are based on manipulation, power dynamics, and the constant pursuit of validation, rather than mutual respect and emotional connection. This makes it difficult for them to maintain long-term relationships, further exacerbating their feelings of inadequacy. Over time, some narcissists may begin to experience a slow but steady decline in their ability to attract new sources of supply. As they age, their charm may lose its effect, and the superficial relationships they build become more fragile. This can lead to feelings of frustration, anger, and despair as they struggle to maintain the illusion of control and superiority. The narcissist may grow increasingly erratic in their behavior, lashing out at those around them or withdrawing into themselves. Despite the deep emotional and psychological impact of losing their best partner, narcissists rarely learn from these experiences. Their capacity for self-reflection and growth is limited by their rigid sense of entitlement and grandiosity. As a result, they often cycle through relationships, repeating the same destructive patterns without ever addressing the core issues that prevent them from achieving genuine emotional fulfillment. This is a key reason why the loss of a grade A supply does not lead to personal growth for the narcissist, but instead intensifies their need for validation and admiration. The dynamics of a narcissistic relationship are ultimately unsustainable. The narcissist may continue to seek new sources of supply, but these relationships are often shallow, manipulative, and short-lived. While the loss of a grade A partner can lead to temporary emotional distress for the narcissist, it is unlikely that this distress will result in meaningful personal growth or change. Instead, the narcissist will likely continue to engage in the same patterns of behavior, seeking validation in ways that can never truly satisfy their emotional needs. The most tragic aspect of a narcissist experience after losing their best partner is their inability to connect with others on a deep, meaningful level. Their constant pursuit of validation prevents them from forming authentic relationships, leaving them isolated and lonely despite their outward success. In the end, the narcissist's loss is not just the loss of a partner, but a reflection of their inability to truly connect with others in a way that fosters mutual love. When a narcissist can no longer control you, it marks a pivotal shift in the dynamic of your relationship with them. Remember, narcissists thrive on power and manipulation, using tactics like gaslighting, guilt tripping, and emotional abuse to maintain control over others. Their need for dominance is rooted in insecurity and a fragile sense of self-worth. When you break free from their control, they may become confused, angry, or desperate to reclaim their power. This loss of control, however, can lead to profound changes in both the narcissist's behavior and your own emotional journey. The first sign that a narcissist can no longer control you is that you stop reacting to their provocations. That is the first sign that a narcissist realizes they can no longer control you. When you don't react to their provocations. They provoke you, but you don't react. Narcissists expect people to be emotionally manipulated or swayed by their demands. And when you no longer give them the satisfaction of controlling your emotions, it destabilizes their sense of power. They will likely become frustrated as they are accustomed to pushing people's buttons to get a reaction. When this tactic no longer works, it can cause them to escalate their efforts, but it also makes it clear that their usual methods of manipulation no longer have the desired effect. Another indication that the narcissist has lost control is that you start setting and enforcing boundaries. Narcissists are notorious for disregarding boundaries, seeing them as obstacles to their needs and desires. Once you realize the importance of maintaining healthy boundaries and you begin asserting them, then the narcissist may try to push back, to question your motivations, or even to accuse you of being unreasonable. However, by consistently upholding these boundaries, you are slowly dismantling the narcissist's ability to dominate the relationship. One of the most powerful tools in reclaiming your power is the ability to disengage emotionally. Narcissists often rely on creating an emotional roller coaster of highs and lows to keep people invested in the drama. When you learn to detach and to stop taking their behavior personally, you become less susceptible to their manipulations. This emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, but rather that you choose not to let their actions dictate your emotional state. When you stop enabling the narcissist's behavior, they will begin to lose their grip on the relationship. Narcissists often rely on others to provide them with validation, admiration, and resources. By no longer offering them the support or attention they crave, you weaken their sense of importance. This shift can be uncomfortable for the narcissist as they may feel rejected, humiliated, or powerless. They might try to guilt trip you into returning to their orbit, But if you stand firm, you will slowly begin to reclaim your autonomy. A narcissist's loss of control also means they can no longer manipulate your perception of reality. Gaslighting is a common tactic of narcissists. It involves convincing others that their version of events is the truth, often leading the victim to question their own memory or sanity. So once you recognize this manipulation and trust your own instincts, the narcissist's power diminishes. They will try to confuse you with contradictory stories or accusations, but your ability to stand your ground will protect you from their deceitful strategies. The narcissist might resort to threats when they sense their control is slipping away. These threats could range from subtle emotional blackmail to overt threats of violence, social isolation, or revenge. At this point, it is essential to recognize these threats as attempts to regain dominance and not let fear sway your decisions. Narcissists thrive on creating an atmosphere of fear and insecurity, but when you are no longer afraid of their tactics, they lose the ability to intimidate. Moreover, once you stop allowing the narcissist to control the narrative, you start reclaiming your own story. Narcissists often portray themselves as the center of attention in any relationship, leaving little space for others to express themselves authentically. When you no longer let them dictate the terms of the relationship, you open up the possibility for your own voice and needs to be heard. This shift can be incredibly liberating, as it allows you to take ownership of your life and redefine your identity outside of the narcissist's influence. A narcissist may also try to isolate you from your support network when they can no longer control you. They might criticize your friends, family, or anyone who poses a potential threat to their control. This tactic aims to weaken your connections and make you more dependent on them. However, when you recognize this strategy and strengthen your bonds with supportive people, you increase your resilience against the attempts to undermine your social support system. The narcissist will soon realize that they can no longer isolate you or manipulate you through this fear. As your self-esteem begins to rebuild and you recognize your worth beyond the narcissist's perception, they may feel threatened by your growing independence. Narcissists rely on others to affirm their sense of superiority, and when they see you flourishing without them, it can cause feelings of jealousy and inadequacy. This can result in the narcissist attempting to reassert their control, either through passive-aggressive behavior or more direct attempts to reignite the relationship. However, your newfound self-confidence will make it harder for them to have any lasting impact on your sense of self. When a narcissist loses control, they may attempt to charm or seduce you back into their web. Narcissists are skilled at playing the victim, and they might express regret or remorse in an attempt to gain your sympathy. They could promise change. They could claim they have learned from their mistakes. However, these promises are often empty, as narcissists rarely change